Hi, welcome to Rick Snider's Washington. Well, the Washington Wizards actually did something I wasn't sure they'd do. They let Scotty Brooks go. His contract ended, so it's not a firing. It's just not a re-signing. He walks away with no money. They can finally get a coach. Scotty Brooks is a good man, but his teams didn't play defense. They allowed the most points in the NBA each of the last 2 seasons. You can't do that. You can't be any good. This team is not without talent. So you get the right coach, they could be right in the mix again next year. They have several talented players. I just didn't think they'd do it because Leonsis has really been notoriously loyal. I wish more my bosses had been more loyal to me than that lately. I show all the pink slips. But he just didn't want to do it. But, they just wouldn't play defense. They wouldn't make in-game adjustments. And they just sucked. And it was hard to watch. So who do you go for after this? To me, there's a lot of good candidates, of course. I think I'd go back to a name Wes Unseld Jr. Gosh, I'm going to really feel old when thinking I saw this kid in the locker room. But, the son of the famous Wes Unseld, who was probably the franchise's greatest player ever, but was an awful coach and GM, to be honest. But the son wasn't much of a player, but is really a rising assistant coach in the NBA. He's with Denver right now. He did a lot of years with the Wizards, working in personnel and such. Just couldn't get the break up the ladder. So he went several places. He's learned where he's went. He's got the resume, I think, to say, okay, you can take a chance on this guy. And maybe fans will come and see what the son of Wes Unseld can do. That doesn't give him the only reason to hire him, but his resume is solid. And so if they go for Wes Unseld Jr., I'm going to watch. We'll see what happens. I know it's going to happen now. I'm Rick Snider for Rick Snider's Washington. Thanks for the 2 minutes, and I'll see you again soon.